Hey, what's up, guys? I'm RoberOnocle, or as you better me, Rob, and I'm here with my good buddy Keon. What's going on, Keon?
Everything is dark outside, guys. If I start sounding like I don't know what I'm talking about, it's because it's late. All right, so leave me alone. But anyways, hi. How are you guys?
Oh, I am doing just fine, thank you. Chat, you may say something if you want.
Chat's probably gonna be relatively antisocial.
Yeah. Oh wait, no, there we go. We got our yo. We're good.
Go.
We're good.
Go.
Oh shoot,
All right.
here they come. But yeah.
Boys are in now.
So, I know I'm late to this. I don't care. I had a Final Fantasy video to get out. But, E3 2019. So, yeah, that was a ride. And personally, I thought it was pretty awesome. But yeah, so, E3, if you guys don't know what that is, it's just a games conference where companies just drop their biggest games. I'm sorry, Ken, did you want to explain it?
No, I was just saying, like, if you don't know what E3 is, then what are you doing?
Yeah, I don't even know how you got this far. Even found my Discord server. But yeah, E3 2019, it's just a game conference where a bunch of big companies, sometimes even indie companies, depending on the situation, they get up on stage, they drop their biggest names. That's really all they do. But it's a very fun time. Me and Kian were actually watching a couple conferences and just kind of making fun of everything. But, you know, like, I'll do that, like, whether or not I have somebody with me, but it's much better with a friend, just to make fun of everything. Even if you love what they're coming out with, still, it's just fun to make fun of it. It's just how it is.
Definitely. Man, I kind that's why I kind of wished I was there watching the Bethesda conference with you. I actually completely missed the Bethesda conference, so I missed every conference except for Square Enix's and Nintendo. So
I mean, you can always go back and watch them. They're all recorded already.
yeah, I could.
And honestly, I wouldn't mind watching them again. I really wouldn't.
Watching them during this podcast doesn't seem like the most.
No, not right now. Please don't. let's not do that right now.
Bad idea.
Yeah. Plus, something about that strike is a little, like, I don't know, kind of ghetto. So, like, let's not do that. Yeah, it's really that, you know, that counterintuitive ghetto-ness, you know. Let's not do that.
Right.
So yeah, let's start off something nice and easy. So Keon, your favorite name dropped at E3 2019.
As in, like, just literally anything?
New, old, I don't give a crap.
I'm pretty sure you already know what's about to come out of my
Yeah.
Trials Mana the remake.
I mean,
Either that or Final Fantasy VII remake. Those are the two that are killing me right now, man. FF7 remake and the Trials of Mana remake. Those are my two favorite names that showed up out of E. So were you gonna say something before I just sort of wanna?
Oh no, you know, I know it's been a while, but you know, as per tradition, the guest always gets like full stage. I listen. I might chime in, but you pretty much get full stage.
Okay, I just heard you go, like you were gonna like you were disappointed or something. I was like, wait, what? Did I say
you're good.
Wrong? Okay. But yeah, the two names that I was very excited for, I'm gonna say it again. The remake of Seiken Densetsu 3, which is now finally being localized as Trials of Mana. That's the one thing that I actually was popping off for during Nintendo's E3 conference. I saw when the trailer first started up and I saw the sword embedded in the tree, Mana Sword or whatever the heck it's called. I don't remember. I just was like, oh, okay, we're getting another JRPG something. A few seconds later, I see my boy Duran with his long, flowing, orange, spiky anime hair.
The hair.
And that, yeah, the hair and
The
that
hair.
dumb visor over his head. I was like, wait, that's Duran. It's Seiken 3. I was like, me and Rob were here just watching it, and I was like pumping him up. I was like, yo, dude, it's Seiken 3. You had to take a few seconds to sort of process that. Like, wait,
no, I was looking at that hair. I'm like, hold on, I've seen that somewhere before.
Yeah. Yeah, me immediately, since I'm a huge Duran stan. I was like, yo, it's Duran, like 3. And the first thing I noticed
Yeah,
is
sorry
that
guys, I'm a Kevin guy. I'm not so much a Duran guy. I'm a Kevin guy.
he's a Kevin guy, aka as he calls him in our Psych 3 playthrough. He calls him Snoop.
Snoop, yeah.
He turns into um, a wolf beast thing. But yes, the first thing I noticed immediately was first off when me and Rob were talking at the Square Enix E3 conference. The one thing we were talking about was a remake of Seiken Densetsu 3. I was like, yo, if they do a remake of Seiken Densetsu 3, they're gonna have to sort of revive, redeem. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. They're gonna have to redeem themselves after the Secret of Mana remake. Like, it's gotta look better. It's gotta play better. It's gotta do literally everything better. The next day, Seiken 3 remake. It looks better than the original Secret of Mana remake. Like, it's all cell shaded. The characters have these nice outlines. It's a very, very colorful and clear art style. Nothing looks like it just blends and looks like a jarbled mess like the original Secret of Mana remake looked.
Yeah,
Characters were recognizable.
nightmare
They
story.
actually were tall. It's a it's a more third person, like behind the back camera style instead of like a very traditional top down, like, oh, I'm sticking to my guns a little bit too much remake. Because whew, what little stuff I saw about that game got me pumped all over again.
Man.
Because they actually went and they showed off all the characters. And some of them actually got design improvements. Well, design sort of like updates. Not Riez, or I'm just gonna call her Riez. I don't know how to pronounce her name. She was called Lise or Lies.
The girl with the green getup. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
She was called either Lise or Lies in the fan translation that we played. But she got a little bit of a design update. Angela got a little bit of a design update. Like, she's got more outlines on her outfit and stuff. And of course, nobody just looks like a freaking, like, they no longer look like 90s anime stereotypes anymore. And one of the biggest glow ups is one that wasn't even that big of a glow up, and it was, of course, of Duran. He in the past looked a lot older, but in the remake he looks a lot more like his age, because Duran's actually really young. So they sort of emphasized how young he is, but the thing is, other than him being like looking younger, dude is ripped. like
Yeah.
most ripped 15-year-olds I've ever seen.
They gave him like a serious Kevin treatment for some reason.
Yeah, they for some reason gave him a Kevin treatment. Dude's buff. You're like, oh lord, Duran looks so good. He even got a little bit of a design update, but for some reason they removed like he had like a Under Armour thing, not an Under Armour, like an undershirt under his chest plate in the original, but that's gone now and it's just pure ab, and I'm just, oh dang, they're really trying to emphasize this dude's muscles. Well, like the design choices are minuscule, but they've definitely been modernized. And from the gameplay that we saw at the Nintendo Treehouse, me and Rob actually sat down and watched it one of these days. It looks like it plays similarly to the original Super Famicom game, but of course the camera angle, like the camera's perspective, is different.
Yeah.
There's also a thing where like running's a little different. Like, instead of just straight up leaving the area, there's actually like a little battle space where it's you and the monsters, and you like run like at the edge of the battle space, and it's like this little gauge meter thing, and you just like fill that up and you can just run from the battle, etc., etc. Attacking, all that looks the same. It still pauses the game when you want to use an item, like a healing item or something. And I wish that they had some type of RTS sort of thing where you can just, where using an item didn't actually freeze the game. You just have to use it on the fly.
Yeah, it seems like it's like a wait mode. It's like a wait mode for the inventory. I hope they switch to an active mode.
Yeah, that's really what I'm looking for. Like, in my opinion, that would spice it up a lot. You can still swap between all the three party members and all the other good jazz. We saw the first boss fight. It still does like the first boss fight against what I like to call the crab bug, which is this big old bug thing that has two eyes that you can actually destroy. And when you destroy both of its eyes, then it dies. Eyes and dies rhymes. I think it also had a health bar.
I think it did.
Yeah, it might have had a health bar. I don't remember.
Which I think is nice, because I don't think the original bosses had health bars.
They didn't have health bars.
Yeah, they didn't. So, yeah, that's
yeah,
nice, because, you know, honestly, like I really like... I like a good boss battle, man. But I like to know how far I'm actually getting in the boss battle. You know, of course, it hurts more if you get close and you fail. Yeah. But still, it can get a little aggravating sometimes when they leave you in the dark. And I'm glad they actually decided to go with the health bar. And like I said, I really agree. Making the inventory, adding an active time mode to it would make it a lot better.
Yeah, just be a bit more challenging. So, like, you don't have to just like, oh, dang, I'm low on HP. Better run back and just pause and then heal. And stuff like that. I don't quite remember, but I think in the remake, when you actually use the item, the game still goes on, because back in the original Super Nintendo version or Famicom version, I bet, when you would use the item, I think the game would pause for you to use the, and then
they would like flex.
Yeah, they would like flex, like how they do in Monster Hunter, but instead the entire game pauses and then you just keep going. I don't quite remember if it didn't pause in the remake, but if it didn't, then that's something that I like.
Yeah, because that's like the whole freeze and the flex animation. That's so like, that's a really 90s RPG thing to do. Like,
yeah.
And granted, it's not like it completely ruins the pacing or anything like that, but making it pick up the pace a little more is nice.
Right. Another thing I noticed about the remake is that the combat wasn't really as snappy as I'd like it to be. Like the original Super Famicom combat, it was very quick. You run in, you slash a guy, walk back a little bit so you don't get counter hit. You slash a guy again, and you may or may not die. It's very quick. The combat in the remake, the animations seem to be a little slow and chunkier, in my opinion. But
no, they look slower. They look slower.
It's slower and chunkier. I'm just hoping that that's an early game sort of thing. Because even if it isn't, then whatever. I'm still gonna enjoy the game more than likely.
Right. I believe. I'm sorry. Keep going.
I would just like it to be a little faster. Is all.
Yeah, I really agree with that. Because I understand there's something called what they call gamer juice. I hate that name, but they call it gamer juice, where it's like all about how the animation ties in, how the animation sound effects ties into like when you hit something, and I believe that that is very much important when it comes to making a game feel good to play. But at the same time, though, you had something like Monster Hunter World, which had all that they pretty much returned that tenfold with all these satisfying animations. And yet it still didn't feel that good to play most of the time. Well, that's subjective. Some people really, really liked, Generations. But, usually if you ask somebody who played 4 Ultimate, usually they said it didn't feel that good to play. Usually because of, the lack of feedback you got, from the monsters and just how easy they were to get. So you didn't get much feedback or much satisfaction from fighting it. So I think it's a little bit iffy. Because, I think even with those, kind of clunky, little janky animations that they had with the demo that we saw, even if it isn't all that satisfying, if it still feels good to pull off, as in defeating your enemy, it felt like you actually put some thought into it. I think that can make up for it.
Right.
It's kind of like why I like something like Final Fantasy IV, where I'm playing on active and the battle's always moving on, and even though the animations are so simple, that I still really enjoy it, because it still feels it's almost like. It's not so much I'm concerned about the animations and the sound effects that go with it, although that's important, of course. But it's almost like carrying out the task feels good, if that makes sense.
I get that.
Yeah.
I get that. Like it's more so about the journey than the conclusion. In a
Yeah.
sense, you just use that figure of speech. But yeah, I'm hoping that a lot of that is all just early game stuff, like the clunky animations. There was a few things here and there, like they were playing a Nintendo Switch version, and there was a lot of like flickers
Yeah, and
here and
some
there.
pop in.
Yeah, there was some pop in. Like I'm pretty sure all that's just early game stuff, and it's definitely going to be buffed on out through the release of the game. I'm
Right.
hoping that it gets polished later on down the line. And the one thing that I was absolutely devastated to hear is the fact that this game, at its current state, doesn't support multiplayer, which is what the original Seiken Densetsu 3 had, and that's how, of course, me and Rob were able to play it. And I'm just like, dang it! They just need to put multiplayer in this game, and it will be like, it will probably be my game of the year for 2020 if FF7 Remake wasn't coming out the same year. And
I mean, if it comes out with multiplayer, I'm not gonna lie. Those games, at least for me personally, they're gonna be button heads. Because both of those, I mean, even Psycho 3 without the multiplayer, it still looks like it's pretty solid. We still need to see more, definitely a more in a polished state. But honestly, assuming that they commit to this, and it seems like they're learning from their mistakes with the Secret of Mana remake, assuming that everything goes as planned, I think that's gonna be button heads for with FF7 remake for me.
yeah, it's probably gonna start button heads with FF7 Remake number 2. Speaking of FF7 Remake, that's one of my other most hyped titles that came out. Oh my lord, FF7 Remake. Just all the things that I got to hear about that game. The fact that just the entire Midgar story is just going to be the size of an average Final Fantasy game. That's blown me away. Considering the fact that Midgar in the original FF7 was like only like a fraction of disc 1. And after you do the Midgar stuff, you don't go there for the rest of disc 1, I believe. I know you do return there at some point later in the game, but I don't quite remember where that is. But just knowing that I'm going to be spending a lot more time in Midgar just makes me really happy, because Midgar is arguably my favorite place in Final Fantasy VII. Like, it's my favorite area because I have this thing where when I play games, I get really attached to the starting area of the video game. So, it's like it's where I start off. It's where I get the coziest. Like, like this is my home, sort of, kind of. Like, it's why I have a lot of connections with starting areas in general. Like, I always bring up well, I don't really always bring up, but I sometimes bring up like the junkyard from Ghost Trick Phantom Detective as that being one of my favorite areas ever in a video game, despite that game being like a 2D visual novel thing. I just love that area. It's where it's where the game kicks off, and it's where everything just goes down and brings you to this very like epic path. It's the start of your journey, and it feels good whenever you get to go back there. But yeah, knowing that Midgar is getting its whole game pretty much is like, I want to see what they can do with it. Like, we've already seen, we've seen the boss fight. We've seen, well, not the boss fight. I'm actually getting a little bit ahead of myself. But we've seen the bombing mission. Like, we've seen Cloud and Jesse and all them. They jump off the train and they like tackle the two soldiers. And then we also see them in the Mako reactor, and they're about to go and blow it up. And Cloud and Barrett, the gameplay that they actually showed off at the Square Enix conference, it was Cloud and Barrett fighting against the Guard Scorpion. And first off, I just want to say that this game's visual polish is a solid 10 in my book, because that game looks phenomenal.
It looks really, really good.
Yeah, like graphically, like it just looks great. Art style's great. The lighting is great. I like all the spark effects and all that. Well, I kind of like the spark effects. I think the spark effects are okay. I'll give it a 9.5 as a visual spectacle. But yeah, seeing Cloud and Barrett fight against the Guard Scorpion again, and looking at all this sort of hack and slashy gameplay, I'm like, yo, this is this is really good, huh? Like, I'm impressed. I'm all impressed by it. And I also see that you can switch between the characters, I believe. Like there's at
Yeah,
one point
they
where
switch
the
between like
guard
Cloud and Barrett. I remember that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I think there's one point where the guard scorpion like jumps onto the wall and you have to play as Barrett and you gotta like shoot at it, I think. Or something like that.
It was something like that.
It's a little foggy. But seeing the boss change within like all of its phases, like there's phases where it's the standard guard scorpion. There's one where it's all damaged and it's got different attacks and you gotta attack it a different way, etc., etc. Just all of that gives me super high hopes for this game. I'm just, whew, I haven't seen everything about it. Like I haven't seen anything about like the secret demo that people got to play. Like I haven't watched any videos on just people like sharing their experience about it. That might be something different than what we were shown. But yeah. Also, we finally got to see Tifa, so that was cool. We finally got a Tifa. Yeah. I think that's just about all I can really muster up about Final Fantasy VII Remake. Not a lot of it is sticking with me, unfortunately, because it's late. So yeah, those are my two. And oh yeah, for my runner-up, the hero from Dragon Quest and Smash. Let's freaking go. I'm so pumped. Though. I don't think I've been that pumped about a character in Smash since probably since Cloud. Cloud was like the biggest character reveal in Smash Brothers for me. It was Cloud and Ryu, and now it's the hero from Dragon Quest. It was gonna happen one day, but hey, I'm so glad that he's in. I'm gonna play him, especially since
the hero looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah, he does. He's got all these different spells and stuff. He's got the different costumes. He's got the Dragon Quest IV costume, Dragon Quest III costume, and of course the very overrated Dragon Quest VIII costume. Like everybody loves Dragon Quest VIII, but I haven't played it. I've only played Dragon Quest IV.
My mom actually played Dragon Quest VIII. That's actually the one I'm most familiar with.
Oh, so even you know Dragon Quest.
Yeah, I'm like, oh look, it's 8.
Yeah, still, even you are freaking excited for like even you know Dragon Quest VIII. I've never played it, but I'm eager to though. Like I'm eager to play all of them, all of the ones that are in Smash anyway. I'm eager to play 11. I'm eager to play 4 again. I'm eager to play 8, and I'm coming on close to Dragon Quest 3. So yeah.
So now's a good time, is what I'm hearing. Now's a really good time.
It's a super good time.
And the really neat thing is that like if you really want to like for real nerd out with the Dragon Quest thing, just get some level 1 spirits and start leveling yourself up.
Just
like a filthy nerd.
Just some level 1 spirits.
Speaking of that, that's actually something my siblings have been doing. Me and my siblings have been doing, where we would just get a spirit and we would just do a bunch of fights. We just keep leveling them up.
Oh, that's what you meant. I was a little confused. Oh yeah,
it's strangely fun to do that. Like it's really satisfying, and seeing your character like get more, more durable and start to hit harder. It's weirdly fulfilling.
It's very gratifying. That's what I did with Twilight Princess. My Twilight Princess Ganondorf spirit. I leveled that thing all the way up with just using normal Ganondorf, and then I maxed out the second form, doing the same thing.
Right, because me and my brother in particular. I'm sorry, were you gonna say something? I didn't mean to cut you off.
I was just saying, and now Ganondorf hits like a truck. Is all.
Oh, okay. But yeah, just really quick before we get back to E3 2019 stuff, I'm just gonna say, me and my brother in particular, because we're really upset. We were really upset about the situation with spirits, because we still kind of are, to be honest. But there's just certain inconveniences that they have with the new spirit system over the custom ability system they had in Smash 4. I'm not talking about so much the custom specials, but rather the custom stats like speed, defense, and power. There were certain aspects they either tinker around with too much and made too high advantages or too low disadvantages, whatever like that. But the fact that we found a way to enjoy it, I think, is really nice. And again, with Dragon Quest, it just didn't look as right, you know.
Yeah, especially since Dragon Quest 1 and 2 have been ridiculously grindy for me so far. Oh god, the grinding in those games. I'm gonna have to what I'm gonna do is pick each and every 4 of the hero skins and grind up like 4 spirits to level 99. That's what I'm gonna do. Like, yeah, this is the Dragon Quest experience.
I don't like the fact that some hard spirits are hard counters. Yeah, that's like my major issue with spirits, is like the blatant counters.
Yeah. Freaking. Yeah, they have a color triangle to them, like in Fire Emblem. Why though?
Yeah, it just because, unlike Smash 4, where like it kind of took effort to try to build a counter set, but in Smash Ultimate it's effortless. So yeah, I didn't care for that too much. Yeah, it's really just pick a color, and sometimes with stat related stuff too. But yeah, Keon, I think one of the most fun I've had, like grinding it up personally anyway, is like having one of the CPU, excuse me, the CPU, you know, like give them an overpowered spirit or something like that, or just give them a random spirit because they'll likely get an overpowered build anyway. Just give them an overpowered like spirit, and then have everybody else just start with level 1 spirits. So like it actually takes legitimate effort to kill them, because even though you're all jumping on them, you're all doing like one, not even one sometimes, like 1 damage. So like it actually takes a lot of time to kill them.
Well, put that on stamina battle, and you got yourself a legit boss fight.
Yeah, it is. When Akuma, we can have a whole podcast to talk about the Akuma spirit.
Oh, dude, I'm gonna give one of them the Calamity Ganon spirit, because I have the Calamity Ganon spirit with the Happy Mask Salesman. So, because Happy Mask Salesman gives them improved trade-off. So like they start with 30% damage, but they're just Omega Beef lore pretty much. Take Calamity Ganon stats and like multiply it, and there you go. It's hell. It's hell on earth.
Yeah. We're also working with spirits that you can enhance, so that when you level all the way up to 99, you can like, it's kind of like prestiging with your levels. It's a lot of fun, like what we're doing right now. It's a lot of fun. It's really enjoyable.
I'm gonna start doing that. I need to get my brother on.
But yeah, let's get back to E3 2019. We're deviating a little too far now. So, Keon, is there anything else you want to say about like any of these name drops or anything?
That's about it. Other than, heck yeah, man, Dragon Quest.
All right, so bringing it around to me. So, as for name drops, of course, I really agree with Keon on FF7 Remake and Seiken 3. Seiken 3 for me was like the thing that won me over Nintendo. I mean, Nintendo actually had some pretty good drops too. You know, the Breath of the Wild 2 remake, Breath of the Wild 2. I'm thinking about Seiken 3, obviously. You know, the sequel to Breath of the Wild.
Remake 4 games that ain't even out yet.
And what? Didn't they do some Mario Maker stuff? I think they did. I want to say they probably didn't. I don't think they did.
I think they just gave it a release date. I don't remember.
Yeah. There was the Link's Awakening remake, which I think it looks all right to me. You know, I mean, like it looks cool, but like it doesn't look like it's essential to get over the original game. But that being said, it does look cool. It looks pretty cool.
Yeah, so there's custom. It's cool as heck.
Yeah, the custom dungeons. Yeah, I didn't like that. It looks basic, but I mean, it looks like it could be fun. So that looks pretty neat. But what won me over hard was the Seiken 3 remake. I mean, like, I usually don't get loud on E3, but like, I was so happy. I was so happy to see that. Once I saw the hair and it clicked, I'm like, oh, hold on, I've seen this before. Oh man.
I love how it took you a little bit. I recognized it immediately.
Yeah. I was so glad to see that. And the music and the graphics, seeing all the characters again, I'm like, I'm not even gonna lie, Ken, I was actually in denial the first time I saw it. I'm like, they did not just do that. That's really what like took me a long time to figure it out. I'm like, they didn't just do this.
Little did you know they did.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, dude.
And then they re-released it in the they released the original game in the Secret of Mana collection. Like, dude.
Yeah, so I mean, like, that was a pretty hard name drop if you ask me. Granted, it ain't new, but it's something I wanted really bad.
It's something the both of us wanted.
Yeah, so Seiken 3, I am really, really looking forward to that. I will pre-order that ASAP. As for the FF7 remake, as you guys know, as of this podcast, I have not made it to FF7 yet, but of course, I'm going to play the original FF7 first, because FF7 remake is an entirely different game, let's be honest. It just ain't the same. Like, I haven't seen, like, all that much FF7, because I'm not trying to spoil it for myself, but I've seen enough of it, and FF7 remake, that ain't the same thing. So, yeah, that'll be, like, if you guys are hoping for a completely separate video for FF7 remake, you can expect that. Like, it's gonna be like its own entire beast. But unfortunately, I gotta get past, like, 15 first, and like all the other games. So yeah, it's gonna be a minute. But FF7 remake, whenever I get the chance, I might make that priority one. Like, once I get out of generation 15, if you will. But yeah, that looks pretty neat. Obviously I don't have any nostalgia for 7, but 7 remake looks like a really, really fun game. And I liked how they actually had an emphasis on positioning, because that's kind of one of my gripes with a lot of action RPGs, that positioning isn't really all that important, where you stand and attack, which is nothing wrong with it. I mean, I like myself some Xenoblade Chronicles, But Xenoblade is a little bit of a better example, but even then, it ain't all that emphasized. I mean, you get stuff like backslash, which is more effective from the back, but, versus all the other times where you probably won't be carrying all that much, it's just kind of like, But seeing FF7 remake actually, like, have more of an emphasis on it, and having phases to enforce that, I think is really good, too. And actually having to change your strat. So, yeah, that's pretty neat. I'm looking forward to FF7 remake. It looks like it's a lot of fun. So, and then here comes the really, really predictable one. Bethesda's E3 press conference for 2019. Doom Eternal. I mean, it's kind of a given. You guys, if you guys know me in Doom 2016, my view of that game is more than glowing. Like, I really, really like that game. And the fact that Doom Eternal... I'm sorry?
My guy is a Doom stan.
Yeah, pretty much. And to see that Doom Eternal basically makes Doom 2016 look like a crappy game. And, that's saying a lot, because Doom 2016 is a really, really good game. And with everybody saying that Doom Eternal makes Doom 2016 I don't know, Counter-Strike Condition Zero, which I hate to insult that game like that, but, like, I mean, it makes Doom 2016 look kind of irrelevant. I can't even lie, because Eternal looks like a lot of fun. I like the more conservative nature of the aesthetic, because I like Doom 2016's, like, really grim-looking aesthetic. Don't get me wrong. But when I see stuff like Doomslayer's new outfit, which looks more like the classic Doom guy outfit, and seeing that the zombie men look more like the green-haired zombie men from the original 1993 game, and then seeing that they even brought back Doom guy's grunts of pain. Now, granted, they aren't the same grunts, but he still grunts in pain. And then you see other things like the fact that they have the radiation suit is back, and it looks just like the 1993 radiation suit at that, which I thought was really amusing. On top of things like, like floating pickups again, the fact that the health bonuses look just like the 1993 originals, and then seeing the plasma gun, which looks again just like the 1993 original. This is all these callbacks, me playing almost every Doom game, I recognize all of this stuff immediately. So, I'm just like, yes, give me more of this. And so I was very, very stoked for it. Doom for me, I can never get enough of it. And again, seeing like the new leaf that Doom has turned, and seeing just how much better it's gotten, like to an almost unreal degree. It makes me happy, It makes me really, really happy. Also, Doom guy goes to heaven. About freaking time. Only took him over 25 years. Also, Doom guy shoots himself out of a BFG. I mean, like, come on now.
He does what?
He shoots himself out of a BFG.
Oh, that is amazing. He shoots himself out of a gun. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, and also I really like about like with Doom Eternal. It's so self-aware. Like it realizes that it doesn't have to be all doom and gloom and serious like Doom 2016 was. Not knocking Doom 2016. I was fine with the doom and gloom stuff, but Doom 26 or Doom Eternal. Even looking from those that trailer that we saw, the gameplay trailer we saw from last year, where the game just had a better sense of humor. Like it was really satire and really self-aware, and I really liked that. And then you just see like just stupid video gamey stuff in Doom Eternal, like extra lives and the floating Doom guy heads for the extra lives, and the big, like needlessly large explosive barrels just floating in space. Like it's just goofy and stupid now, but I'm okay with that. Like it looks like it's just trying to have fun with itself.
It's pulling a Saints Row 4.
Yeah, it's just having fun. So like, I mean, that's the thing about Doom Eternal. It just looks fun. Like that's really just it. It just looks fun. If I had to be honest with you, like I said this on Twitter too. Like if I were to grade E3 by all the hard name drops that we got, like I mean, Bethesda, Square, and Nintendo all tied for me because they all put out something I really, really wanted. Oh, also, I think they actually did some more gameplay of Cyberpunk 2077 from Microsoft's E3 press conference, but I didn't see that gameplay yet. But Cyberpunk 2077 is something I'm really looking forward to as well. I know there's supposed to be like a lot of controversy surrounding Cyberpunk 2077, mostly because of its themes of identity, which I won't go into, but all the body modifications and stuff, and just how Cyberpunk, how CD Projekt Red portrays corporations and industries and how low blowing they can be at times. It shakes the people up a little more than personally what I think is worth getting upset about. But look, I'm raised in a family where we just don't give a crap. All right, we're here to play a video game and have a good time. So like, whatever, man. I'm looking forward to Cyberpunk 2077. I'm hoping it's a good game. Also, Keanu Reeves at the Microsoft press conference. One of the best parts of E3 2019. Easily. He's just a likable guy.
Yeah, everybody was saying it was Keanu Reeves, excuse me? Keanu Reeves, Ikumi Nakamura, and that dog. Like, everybody loved those three.
Oh, that Japanese girl? Oh, she was amazing.
Yeah, I actually watched that earlier. She's so full of energy. She was amazing, yeah. Freaking Ikumi Nakamura. She is a wonder.
Oh, yeah, so that reminds me. Ghostwire Tokyo. This is being developed by a Japanese team under Bethesda, which I'm not really familiar with them. But Bethesda has a pretty good eye for companies that can develop FPS games. They have a pretty good... I mean, they have id Software, so I think that should already tell you something. So this Ghostwire Tokyo, I trust it. I have faith in it.
It's spooky.
Yeah, seeing all those people disappear, all those, like, I guess people in Japan disappearing from, like, this, I guess this mysterious cult or whatever. It looks pretty interesting. I'm really looking forward to that. Okay, so now is the time where we just generally talk about E3 stuff. Anything you heard, okay, Mosquito, now is not the time. I'm having a podcast.
His butt
Go away.
His butt swole.
I have the fly swatter right here. Let's not start, all right?
Buzz was here.
But yeah, just E3 stuff now. Just talk about general E3 stuff because there's plenty more I can talk about. Because I watched every E3 press conference except for Ubisoft's. I didn't watch this because I want to spend more time watching the FF4 video, actually. So, unfortunately, I did not get to see this, but they were talking about Ghost Recon Breakpoint, which is supposed to be, I don't know if it's a sequel to Wildlands, but clearly it is based on the gameplay of Wildlands. It looks like Wildlands, but harder, actually. Which, Wildlands is already kind of a tough game, so I'm interested to see how that goes. So yeah, before I go into that, Keon, is there anything else you want to say about, any E3, anything, Now it's no longer about name drops, it's just about stuff you've seen now.
It's about stuff that I've seen. I'm gonna go on about stuff that I've seen and stuff that I've heard.
Okay.
This is gonna be, of course, from Nintendo's E3 for the start of my thing.
Right.
First of all, let me get some of the stuff out of the way. A few days ago, when I was in one of the Smash communities, like I'm in some Discord servers, I'm in some I'm in the Smash Amino, and I just go, oh man, I'm all like, even some YouTube comments. I'm like, oh man, I'm so pumped for the hero because I'm like a huge JRPG kind of guy. That's just my thing. And I always get flooded. What about Banjo? Like, I don't care about Banjo, all right? Like, it's cool that everybody got Banjo. I've never played Banjo Kazooie, nor have I ever. Well, I actually have had the interest at some point because it's a lot like DK64, and I like that. But I just don't have any plans to play Banjo and Kazooie. All right, leave me alone. I don't care for now. I'm glad that you guys got them, but I mean, I got Erdrick, and I got a lot of. I'm already in JRPG hell. I don't need more of that. So leave me alone about Banjo. All right.
So basically, like, you're glad, but you don't care.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's how I was about like Joker. I'm like, woohoo! But I'm like, truthfully, I didn't give a crap. Like, I did not care.
I know how you are. I know how you are. Just Persona is just a thing that exists to you. Like, it's just there. So yeah. Yeah, like, just leave me and my love for sword characters alone, alright? So yeah, it's like Banjo, cool. I don't care. I hate that I have to put it so blunt and rudely, but everybody freaking nags at me about it. Yeah, Daemon X Machina. That's a giant mech fighting game, and that's a game. Well, mech fighting, mech shooting, whatever the heck you want to call it.
Yeah, it's a game.
Yeah, it's a game about mechs. Mechs shooting and slashing at each other with swords. It's dumb fun, honestly. It's difficult, but it's really fun. It's hard to get the hang of, but there's a demo out of it on the eShop. Brain, please. After playing the demo, I was like, okay, this game, I can rock with this. This game's fun. Shooting feels nice. Like movement feels nice too. And customizing your robot in order to get like a perfect build that you want, one that doesn't have like a lot of power consumption, one that can boost really far but has low attack power, one that has a lot of attack power but doesn't move far, one that has a shield on its right arm and a gun in its left hand, or two guns on its shoulders and two shields in its hand, or one sword in its hand, a machine gun in its left hand, a machine gun on its right shoulder, and a shield on its left shoulder. Like, you can do whatever with your robot, and I think that's super freaking cool. Or like your mech or your machina, whatever the heck it's called. And I think that's super cool. And during E3, not only did it get a release date, but it also confirmed that it was getting cooperative multiplayer. So that's like a huge thing that I'm really looking forward to. Just going in like me, like a squad of 4 people, like, yeah, let's go and like beat the crap out of this boss. Because the one boss fight that they had in the demo was actually pretty hard. Not gonna lie. I actually didn't complete it because my mech got blown up and nobody could save me. But yeah, that boss fight was pretty hard, and I can see myself just going like, yo, me and my army of dudes that are around like a relatively low equal power are gonna like tackle this gigantic boss. Like, that's gonna be amazing. And I'm gonna be able to see everybody's different custom mechs. I get to see them zoom around the map and like slash things up and stuff while I'm over there helping them, providing cover fire. Like, it's gonna be an amazing experience, especially since the game is fully 360. So you're just buzzing around the whole stage, flying, running around on the ground. It's gonna be a great time. And it's also getting competitive multiplayer, like actual PvP. So that I'm ridiculously excited for too. Yeah, Daemon X Machina. It's pretty up there in my book. I'm definitely looking forward for it. Definitely stoked. Pokemon Sword and Shield. We all heard about the controversy. Bring back the National Pokedex. The one thing that the Pokemon community actually isn't freaking like killing each other over is that one character, Nessa, that came out. And she's just I think she's a gym leader, but everybody's like fawning about her. Like, I am too. She's got a really great design. She looks like an Olympic gym leader. And that's like, okay, that's like the only Sword and Shield news that I care about. So But
Yeah, because
yeah,
otherwise that game's getting. I was telling you and Jared yesterday. That game's getting the Mighty Number Nine treatment from
yeah,
like almost
that game's
everybody,
getting
and that is.
canned.
And guys, if you don't know, that is not a good thing at all. That is
That is
really
a
not a
terrible
good thing.
That game is getting canned so hard. Like every single Pokemon video or every single tweet from the Pokemon Twitter account. Hashtag bring back National Dex. Like, oh lord. I'm so glad I stopped caring about Pokemon in 2011.
If it ain't that, then it's just how like overwhelmingly unpolished the game looks.
That too. Whether it be bad animations, whatever, mediocre looking grass. People been saying it looks like a PS2 game. I'm like, no, it really doesn't.
No, that's no, no.
Yeah, it really doesn't. I mean, there are some good-looking PS2 games out there, but no. Speaking of, no, not really speaking of PS2 games, but Dragon Quest Builders 2. That's a super, like, that's another good thing I'm really looking forward to. We got to see a lot of Dragon Quest Builders 2, and that game, they say that it's a lot bigger than the original Dragon Quest Builders. And I'm someone who put way too many hours into the demo of the original Dragon Quest Builders. Like, I put more hours in there than anybody really should. But I freaking enjoyed myself playing that demo, and I was one day going to get the actual full game. But I'm not really thinking about it anymore because we're coming out with the sequel, and the sequel actually has online multiplayer, which is something that the original didn't have. So I'm like, oh yes, I'm gonna play this game like for countless of hours with friends of mine, just building stuff and going on adventures in this Dragon Quest Minecraft world. Let's freaking do it, right? But I mean, it kind of sucks that like I'm sort of canning the first game, but I mean, 2 just looks better objectively in my opinion because everything is just bigger. There's a lot more stuff, and there's online multiplayer. Like the first one could have a really good story, but I mean, well, does it mean I want to really go back to it when I know I'm gonna be freaking plunging hours upon hours into Builders 2? Unfortunately, no.
That's usually why I don't try to play games backwards. It's a bad idea.
It's a terrible idea.
Which is why I'm probably planning on trying to play the first game before I go with the second game because I know. Again, that's because you'll get what I like to call sequel syndrome, where you come to expect stuff that you had in the sequel, and like, you know, you want to complain about it, but you know you really shouldn't because like
you know you can't because you played it in the wrong order.
Yeah.
It's a game that came before. Like, yeah, that's honestly what I'm. That's why I'm not gonna go to the first one because I'm like, no, like I'm really conflicted about it too. But I mean, unfortunately, I'm gonna just have to go to Builders, straight to Builders. Sorry, Builders 1. I spent way too many hours playing your demo.
So you got it's not like you got your time's worth anyway.
Yeah, 1 second.
Okay. So, while Keon is tending to whatever business he needs to tend to, so yeah, just speaking upon Dragon Quest Builders, I haven't really seen too much of it because when I saw it, the moment I saw Dragon Quest Builders, I'm like, oh look, another Minecraft, and I don't really like Minecraft, so you know I didn't really think much of it. But you know, seeing that Dragon Quest Builders 2 is really expanding upon what the first game established, and I'm like, oh hold on, so you tell me that the first game looks like just maybe even if it's just a fraction of it, looks kind of like what Dragon Quest Builders 2 is, because like Dragon Quest Builders 2 looked a whole lot of fun. I mean, you have things like, of course, you know, like I think you had minecarts. Yeah, I want to say you had minecarts, but you had people like going to areas mining stuff for you. You kind of like your own little mini corporation going on. I'm like, that's kind of dope. That is kind of dope. And Keon's saying over here, minecars, yeah. So, like, yeah, it looks like a whole lot of fun. And the combat looks really satisfying. That's kind of like an issue I have on a lot of like games a lot of builder games like Minecraft. It's like the combat usually just kind of meh. I mean, I thought Terraria was like decent, but stuff like Portal Knights, the combat is kind of mediocre. Other stuff like I just think Minecraft's combat is just horrible. Like, oh my goodness, I think it's so bad. But Dragon Quest Builders 2, Even the Builders 1, I saw some of Builders 1 as well. Looks like it's pretty good. I mean, from what I've heard, like, the Dragon Quest series doesn't really dabble too much with turn-based RPGs. Or, excuse me, with action RPGs, that is. But Builders looks like it's a lot of fun to play. Plus, you have, like, bosses and challenging monsters and stuff. And, I think monsters can even, like, grief the world and blow up stuff. So, yeah, it looks pretty neat. Again, I don't really know too much about Builders. I might go back and play Builders 1 if it ever stops being like $50. Just so I don't play Dragon Quest Builders 2, get spoiled with it, go back to Builders 1. I'm like, hey, this game is just hey, mosquito. Hey, go away. Thank you. But yeah, just get sequel syndrome, where you're like, why is this not in this game when, you play the game after? It just gets kind of strange. So, another one. Just speaking upon, like, E3 stuff, I watched Devolver Digital's E3 press conference, and I thought it was actually... Devolver's kind of weird. They're like, their press conferences kind of consist of dropping these names really fast and just like a whole lot of cussing. Like that's just kind of what it's contrived of. But that being said, I mean I think they're entertaining though. But I was really, really disappointed that there was no name drop of Serious Sam 4, because I really love me some Serious Sam. Serious Sam the first encounter, Serious Sam the second encounter, Serious Sam 3 BFE. All fantastic games. I think they're all fantastic in their own way. Serious Sam 2, I think, is like so-so. But Serious Sam, first encounter, second encounter, BFE, where it's at for me. I think Keon... there's Keon. But yeah, I was really sad to see there was no Serious Sam 4, because I'm really down for some more Serious Sam. And it appears that Keon is back.
Yeah, sorry about that. I need to go give my mom like a glass of beers or something.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm back. Yeah, Dragon Quest Builders 2. That's about all. But were you saying something about Serious Sam?
I was just talking about Devolver Digital, their press conference, and the one thing I was really, really waiting for was Serious Sam 4, because I really like Serious Sam. Serious Sam, the first encounter, fantastic. Second encounter, even better. Serious Sam 3. People are really funny about that one. I mean, 3 does have some issues, but honestly, I really, really like 3 as well. And Serious Sam 4 seems to be continuing in that trend, which I'm really looking forward to. Apparently, it's supposed to be like... Serious Sam 4 is supposed to be insane, because CrowTube said that in one level alone, you could be killing over 10,000 enemies.
Oh, Lord.
So I'm like... I mean, I can totally believe it, because Serious Sam has some serious, no pun intended, some serious horsepower in its engine to, like, tolerate, like, a lot of enemies on screen at once. But I'm like, 10,000 enemies. 10,000 enemies.
What is this, Dynasty Warriors?
I mean, I can fully believe that they're going to do that. Like, it's believable, but I'm just like, man. And Serious Sam games they're known for going a little haywire sometimes, going a little nuts sometimes. So, I mean, it ought to be fun. Serious Sam is a very gratifying and a very satisfying first-person shooter series. In fact, while we're here, the Serious Sam games, all of them, are on sale right now on Steam. Please, they're on sale for dirt cheap at that. So, like, please, if you guys have a Steam account and you haven't played Serious Sam yet, I strongly recommend you do so. If anything, it is a really good way to blow off some steam. It ain't like no casual game. The game can be... Serious Sam games can be kind of hard sometimes. Especially 3. 3 is just brutal sometimes. But, like, it's such a fun game. And people call that, the Serious Sam franchise, an aim trainer. And I can kind of agree with that. Because Serious Sam is something where you just can't, like, aim like a casual and expect to win. No, you'll die really fast. You gotta use your eyes and your ears. But yeah, I was really, really let down that there was no Serious Sam 4. And just, again, speaking of Devolver Digital's E3 press conference, there was one game they were talking about for a while, and that was this game called My Friend Pedro. and I am really looking forward to that game. It looks like a whole lot of fun. Don't really know what I could compare it to, but it just seems like it's really fast paced, all about grabbing guns, and I guess maybe fear, if anything. Fear with like its slow mo and dashing through a room, shooting everybody up, and then moving on to the next set of enemies. But my friend Pedro, I remember watching a stream, and a guy said that he thought that my friend Pedro looked like it was okay at best. I could not disagree harder, man. Like, it's my friend Pedro looks like a lot of fun. It's an indie game, but it looks like it is. It looks like it's really good. So yeah, Keon, let's get back to you.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, I just got done talking about Dragon Quest Builders 2. That's one I'm really looking forward to. So Damon, Builders 2. What else was I looking forward? Dang, don't tell me it just slipped. There was.
It's okay if you want. We'll do what we always do. If somebody struggles thinking about something, we'll move on to the next person, and you can just cut me off when you get back when it comes to you.
Yeah, let's do that because my brain's not working right now.
Okay. So,
Wait.
Found it?
Dragon Quest XI, the definitive edition. I heard that game is actually going to have a lot of like it's gonna have a lot of Easter eggs. Like it'll let you go back to the overworlds of the older games, and I think that's actually pretty dang cool. It even goes into like the 16-bit and 8-bit sprite work, or like the art styles of all those other games, and that's super cool. There's some other extra content that I'm missing, but the fact that it's going to be put on Switch, I'm just gonna add that to my Dragon Quest pile of games that I'm gonna be playing. So, yeah.
I've heard nothing but really good things about 11. Like, it seems like everybody who talks about 11, it just seems like they have nothing but super good things to say about it.
Yeah, same here. I'm stoked for it too, really. Heck. Like I know it's out on the PS4, but I want to get it on my Switch because I want more games for my Switch. I only got like 3. So, yeah. Yeah, Dragon Quest 11. Also, did you know that game actually got a 3DS port?
11?
Yeah, they actually put 11 on the 3DS.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, it's on there, dude. So,
like right now. Hold on. Like right now?
Yeah, it's out on the 3DS, and it has been for a while.
Let me hold on. Should I have Tomodachi Life open? Hold up. Let me save my game.
Japan only, though. It's Japan only, though.
Oh, whack. Whatever.
Yeah, super whack. But yeah, they have it. They have Dragon Quest 11 on the freaking 3DS, and I'm like, wow, okay. They put this whole game on a 3DS. Like, yeah. So yeah, there's that game. Fire Emblem Three Houses. That was something that I was always looking forward to.
That game looks cool. Like I can't even lie. That game looks cool.
Yeah, it's definitely the most interesting Fire Emblem game in my opinion, and this is coming from someone who is just the hugest fan of the last entry, which is Fire Emblem Echoes, Shadows of Valentia, and whew, that game is great. But yeah, I love a lot of things about Fire Emblem Three Houses. The art style I'm not too big on, but I do like the actual designs of the characters here and there. There's one character named Caspar who just looks like Akihiko from Persona 3. I'm just that always freaks me out because of the fact that he not only looks like Akihiko, but he also uses like punching attacks just like Akihiko. So okay, well I see where the inspiration comes from. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff to that game. Like there's a whole class, like you're a teacher of a class essentially, and it's up to you to essentially like battle train all these classes from these 3 kingdoms or something like that. These 3 houses. There's like I don't even remember the names of the factions. Like that's how out of touch I've been with this lately. But it's like the golden deer, the blue something, and the red hairs. I don't know, but the one thing that they actually did show in the E3 trailer is that they actually have like a whole time skip thing going on for them, and all you get to see the evolutions of the characters, like the main female character, Edelgard, or however the hell you pronounce that name. She she receives a glow up. The character that everybody was roasting on, the guy Dimitri, because everybody say he looks like he has McDonald's arches as his hair. He he turned into like a freaking like a one-eyed freaking mercenary dude in the future. And then there's Claude, the dark skinned dude. He's just like, I just want everybody to be friends. Also, I have a beard now. And yeah, I just want to see where the story goes, really. And I also want to spend the countless hours just leveling up all my units and starting them from scratch because they're all students. Yeah, that's another game I'm looking forward to. Final Fantasy VIII Remastered. It's been ages since I played the original Final Fantasy VIII, and this remaster looks, it just looks good. I don't know what to say.
It looks pretty. No, it looks pretty good, especially that comparison that we saw on Twitter.
Yeah, I saw that comparison, man. That was crazy.
Cause like I saw it at the conference. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I just thought it would look like an original, like just a PS1 game, but better. But no, the glow up was phenomenal. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, I'm like, oh wow, like no, that looks a lot better.
Yeah, that looks way better. I hope that they don't do what they did with the original PSX version, where there's actually like there's some scenes in that game where there's multiple characters on screen. But the thing is, they're not actual characters. They're legit just textures on the floor. and it made them look like the perspective of the room made them look like they were standing up. But it was nothing but just text. Oh man, that was bad. But yeah. FF8 remastered. That's something I'm looking for. Panzer Dragoon coming back. Panzer Dragoon is something that I have a very brief history with. I don't remember much about it other than the fact that you ride dragons. I think I played Panzer Dragoon Orta on the original Xbox at one point, but can't remember anything from that game, and it makes me sad because I think I remember enjoying the very small time that I played. But whatever, I'm gonna try the new Panzer Dragoon whenever that comes out, because hey, it's something that I remember. I just kind of want to bring something like that back into my memory. Anything else from Nintendo? Anything else from Nintendo? Luigi's Mansion 3. I never played the first two, but I mean, hey, 3 looks good. I like just the fact that you can grab a ghost and freaking slam them back and forth like a freaking pro wrestler. That looks fun.
Luigi's Mansion 3 looks a lot better than 2. It looks a lot more faithful to the first game. They're still sticking with those sucky ghost designs from 2, and yeah, I will blame 2 for that. But like other than that, that's really doesn't matter in the long run. I'm just really not a fan of the new ghost design. They just look so like slinky and just lazy. But
it's just no bueno.
Yeah, it's just like they don't really like cloth anymore. They just like their designs are really, as they would say, flat. And that's really why I'm not a big fan of it. But everything else, nah. Luigi's Mansion 3 looks pretty dope. It looks like it's gonna be a whole lot of fun to play. Now, hopefully. Now, 2 was a big letdown because 2 seemed really concerned about just getting on your nerves as a game, really. Because, like...
Really?
Yeah, because, for one... unlike the first game, which was not too hard to understand, Luigi's Mansion 2, and pretty much anybody can tell you this, had a really, really bad case of what in the world do I do syndrome. Where EGAT will come up on, your dual scream, as he calls it, and he's like, hey, Luigi, hey, make sure you go do this thing, and they really wouldn't tell you what to do. It's just like, hey, Luigi, you see that room? Go to that room. And you just figure it out from there. But, like, sometimes, like, Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon had you doing, like, such specific things. And it really irked me. And it also really, like, that's really the thing. It had such an unhealthy focus on puzzles. for a Luigi's Mansion game, which the first game had its fair share of puzzles too, but not to this weird, unhealthy degree to the point where you just don't even know what to do. I can't even lie. Sometimes I got through, I think there was one puzzle or one thing you had to do that was like it was so ridiculously specific. I just looked it up. Like, well, but I didn't even care. I'm like, how was I supposed to figure this out? Yeah, I just looked it up because, and again, it also has escort missions in it too, and yeah, they suck. So, yeah. I mean, like, I think the aesthetic of the game was, pretty neat. Again, everything was a little more cartoonified and like a little more exaggerated and goofy looking, which didn't care for that too much. At least when you consider the first game and how more down to earth it looked, which was like, I think what set it apart from other Mario games, the fact that Luigi's Mansion just looked so real for a Mario game, and for 2 to completely dish that for like a cartoony aesthetic, I'm like, And Luigi's Mansion 3 still kind of keeps that. But, I mean, just still, Luigi's Mansion 3 looks pretty promising. It looks better than, like, what they originally showed us back, like, last year, where they announced it. I'm like, I thought it looked okay at best, but seeing more Luigi's Mansion 3 now, very stoked for that. Especially as someone who is a big fan of the series. So that's my 2 cents on Luigi's Mansion 3.
What?
I said those are my thoughts on Luigi's Mansion 3.
Okay, sorry about I might play the first 2 Luigi's Mansion games here and there. I mean, if they fall into my hands, then they'll fall into my hands.
Hey, the first 2 are on the 3DS, so.
Oh, both of them are. Oh, yep. Yeah, that's right. You did get put 3DS. I'm not. Yeah, I'll get them. Why not? Yeah. I think the last Nintendo E3 game that I'm pretty excited for, other than No More Heroes 3, which I don't really have much to say about, is the remaster of Crystal Chronicles. And that's just because Crystal Chronicles, I heard, is like a fantastic co-op game, and I do just want to sit down and play co-op with it with someone. Like I don't remember if I've ever actually played it, or if I've just only heard someone talk much about it. But yeah, I really want to play Crystal Chronicles just because, hey, more co-op games sounds like a deal for me, right?
Hey, I'd say so.
I'd get 3 other friends to play this game with. Yeah, that's all I have to say about the things that I'm excited for the Nintendo part. But can I just take a second to talk about the ugly? Dear God, The Witcher 3 on the Switch.
Ooh.
Oh, Lord.
That looked bad. Like, it just didn't even look good.
It didn't. Like, my guy Geralt looked like straight up plastic. Like, my guy's costume looked like plastic.
I mean, they were trying to hype it up, but, like, let's be honest, nobody really cared, man. They were like...
Yeah, because it looked like trash. Oh, Lord. Like, so did that Contra game. Not gonna lie, that Contra game...
That Contra game looked the worst. It looked the worst.
It had the Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate ground textures mixed with the Breath of the Wild mountain textures. Like, how do you double screw that up?
Yeah, it straight up doesn't look good. Like, it just looks bad.
It made me feel a little bad for it because I mean, like, it's the return of Contra and all that,
and but nobody cared.
Yeah, but nobody. Well, I mean, some people might care. It's just, God, it looks so ugly.
It does.
Yeah. Anyway, let me try and go back to Square Enix's pot. I guess Square Enix's E3 presentation, other than FF7 remake.
Also, Stuffy, you are the only person that's left of our audience, man.
Wait, who this?
Stuffy.
Stuffy's here.
The only guy left in the audience.
Freaking rip.
Don't let us down, Stuff.
We got an unfortunate Friday. But,
That's basically every podcast these days.
Oh.
They're all just like half empty. Not even half empty.
You can't bother. Like, people gotta do what they gotta do. And it doesn't help that we're doing this at like 10:30 p.m. EST.
I'm enjoying the chill chat with intense gaming. Hey, that means we're doing our job as two guys on a podcast.
Yeah, just something to put on in the background and just occasionally like hear into. So yeah, we're doing good. But yeah, I think when it comes to Square Enix, the one thing that can come out of my mind is other than the gigantic FF7 remake presentation,
which was fantastic,
was that Avengers game. And I only remember the Avengers game so much because they sat there talking about it for like 15 minutes.
Oh my goodness. You know, the gameplay looked fantastic for it. It looked like a lot of fun. But they spent more time just talking about what it was going to be than actually showing us. That was not ready for E3. That wasn't.
It looked really interesting. But, like, Jesus. You said it wasn't ready for E3?
I don't think it was. If they have to spend more time talking about what it's going to be, that doesn't sound like it's ready.
Not at all. They definitely could have worked a bit more on it. I mean,
E3 is all about dropping big names and having plenty to show. They didn't show much about the Avengers game.
Well, they did afterwards. They had a playable demo for people to play. But...
Oh, yeah, that's right. But, I mean, for the conference itself.
Yeah. Also, can I just say that, like, first off, I'm not an Avengers guy. I don't peer my head into Marvel, like, at all anymore, unless it's Marvel versus Capcom. But the fact that they actually killed off Captain America in that game, like, right in the trailer, I was like, yo, this is actually, like, wow, they went that length. That's crazy. Like, honestly, I'm a little wanting to know about this. Like, it's even got me interested, and I don't give two hoots about the MCU.
Yeah, it's that Square magic, man.
That's that Square magic. And Crisis Core remake win. Yeah, I think that's about everything I can remember from the Square conference, other than that one very standard World War II looking shooting game that they showed off.
Yeah, that just looked so basic.
It looks very, very standard. Like, yeah, I can't say anything else.
It just looks like a Battlefield game, to be honest.
It did. It looked like Battlefield. It looked like Battlefield of Duty, man. It was something.
Hey, bro.
Oh, hey, Baron is here. But yeah, it was Battlefield of Duty. It was yeah. That's all I can remember. I'll have to like rewatch that Square Enix thing one of these days, and I'm gonna have to sit down with Rob one of these times and watch like the Bethesda conference and stuff, because I missed out so much.
I need to go back and watch the Ubisoft one. I just straight up missed that one. Again, because I was looking at the FF4 video, and I'm like, I've got to sink more time into that. I was looking at the FF40 video like religiously, man.
Well, I mean, we can watch the Ubisoft one a little later.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's just about everything I have to say for what I've seen of E3 so far.
Okay.
I'm excited for Three Houses, Luigi's Mansion 3, Crystal Chronicles, and Astral Chain. Astral Chain looks beautiful.
It does.
Like, I can't believe that's actually a Switch game. It looks phenomenal. Yeah, Astral Chain, Platinum beat 'em up. I love Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance. I'm obviously gonna be all over that. Comes out. Builders 2, Daemon X Machina, Final Fantasy 7 Remake. I'm happy to see more Pokemon fans get angry.
Have they ever been this mad before?
Not that I remember. No, this is the angriest they've ever been, actually.
The scary part is, like, normally I don't give two hoots about like a Nintendo fan's like feelings, but I'm like, no, they kind of have reason to be upset about this.
Yeah, like, these guys are mad.
Yeah, I'm like, ooh.
the angriest I've seen them be is the lack of like Pokemon Let's Go being underwhelming. But even then, they said that Pokemon Let's Go is just our first Pokemon game on the Switch. We're just testing the water. They were like, oh, okay. Then they weren't that mad anymore. But Jesus, why are they upset again? They're upset because they aren't putting the National Pokedex in the game, which was essentially be them cutting out over 800 Pokemon. So there won't be any Pokemon from Gen 1, Gen 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or 7. I think we're on Gen 8. I don't remember. But yeah, there's going to be none of them. It's just going to be this new gen. Can you just flat out not use them? Nope.
Yeah, they're just like erased.
Yeah, they're erased. You can't transfer any of your Pokemon from like your older games in there. Nope. None of that's going on. Okay, that is stupid. Like
it's getting the good old JRPG treatment. You know, like the last game ain't related kind of syndrome.
Yeah, that's kind of what it's going about.
Like, I'm like, oh no.
You know, I've never actually seen the Pokemon fan base get angry like this. Like, I've only seen them get like mildly upset and then they just laugh it off later. But no, these guys are actually mad about this. And that's crazy. But Jesus. Yeah.
Basically Jared.
Yeah, basically Jared, but I actually don't think that Jared's actually angry about this.
He just seems really disappointed, if anything. Like he seemed kind of bummed out about it.
Yeah, I mean, reasonably so.
Yeah.
Because like there's all these new mechanics, like that thing where your Pokemon just grows to the size of a building. But like who doesn't want to see a Jigglypuff grow to the size of a building and put a whole arena to sleep? But yeah, well, wait a minute, you can't do that in Pokemon Sword and Shield. Anyway, yeah. I'm excited to see more Pokemon fans get freaking pissed off because I like seeing people get pissed off for some reason.
Because angry Nintendo fans are funny.
They are. They really are. And I'm excited for that remake of Donkey Kong Jungle Beat and Minecraft 2. Alright, no, I'm kidding. Those aren't actual things. Please remake Jungle Beat. I would play that. Or at least re-release Jungle Beat. I love Jungle Beat. Well, yeah, there is a Minecraft too. Freaking Minecraft Dungeons, but whatever, I don't care. So yeah.
Okay, can I just say this? Dungeons looks legitimately good. Like it looks like a really good game.
It does, but why should I care about that when Seiken 3 Remake showed up in the same stream?
That is a fair... Oh, actually, that was on Microsoft's, where they showed more of it.
Oh, okay. I mean, they the first time I actually saw it was on the Nintendo one.
Yeah. But yeah, so, if you're seeing it on the Nintendo one, at that point, I didn't even care either. I'm like, Seiken 3 was like, no, this is important. Seiken 3 is here.
Yeah.
That is priority one.
Yeah, that was the Apex. But yeah. Luigi's Mansion 3, Daemon X Machina, Dragon Quest Builders 2, Astral Chain, Pokemon Sword and Shield controversy, the Hero from Dragon Quest 11, the Definitive Edition, and Seiken Densetsu 3 Remake. That's all I'm super duper excited for. Yeah, and FF7 Remake. Those are my E3 highlights right now.
All right.
All of those.
I'm sorry, keep going.
Oh no, I'm done.
Oh, I think you cut out because like I got a little confused.
Oh well, no, I'm good.
Okay.
But yeah, hashtag remake Jungle Beat. Let's go.
See, I was just gonna say, I really like how they announced the Seiken Densetsu 3 remake and just walked off like it was nothing.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, we're making this game. You know, this game you wanted for over 20 years.
Yeah, didn't that, dude? I think that came out right after the Hero too. I think
right. They were just like, hey, by the way, Seiken 3 is back. Also, we're remaking that game as well, so you get 2 versions to play. Bye. Like, no, hold on a second. I have questions. Stop.
Square Enix just legit took out like the first half of the freaking Nintendo thing, dude. Like, hey, here's the Hero, and here's 2 Seiken 3s. Like, there you go.
I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Like, it was hard focus on anything else after I saw that. I mean, you guys don't know. You don't know like the struggles me and Keon went through to try to play Sega 3 online. And we've been talking about this. We've been talking about this one that's gonna be remade for like 2.5 years, and it actually happened.
Right, it actually happened, dude. I'm so stoked for it. So stoked for it.
So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. So yeah, bring it around to me. Just highlights and stuff. Since Keon here is finished. Hold on, what's going on down here? Oh, they're talking about Vento Arreo down there. I'm gonna stay up here and talk about E3. So yeah, highlights for me. So again, it was Deathloop from Arcane Studios. Really look forward to that. Also Wolfenstein Youngblood. Now I haven't played Wolfenstein 2: The New Colossus yet, mostly because it just seems like there's just never really been an opportunity for me to actually get around to purchasing it and playing it, not without paying like full price or something like that, unfortunately. But eventually I will get around to playing the new Colossus, because I really want to try that out. I mean, people seem really iffy about it, but I still want to really try that game out. Wolfenstein Youngblood looks like more of what I want and more of what I love in Wolfenstein games, except now you have... Apparently, Wolfenstein Youngblood is a little more like an RPG, because, you play in the other Wolfenstein games. I'm going to... Hold on. Speaking of Smash, I'm going to a tournament tomorrow at 11 a.m. I'm going to lose because I don't even have the game. Not as bad.
Oh, dang. You're going to a tournament, too? Dude, I went to my first tournament last Saturday. It is going to be an amazing experience. Just know that. All right? Okay, I'm actually going to talk to you in text chat instead of, polluting Rob's air right now.
All right. Well, I appreciate that. But yeah, Wolfenstein Youngblood, because... Right, because you play as BJ Blazkowicz's kids. Blazkowicz. I don't really know. It depends how you want to pronounce it. I just say Blazkowicz because that's kind of what I'm comfortable with. But BJ Blazkowicz, you play as his kids, and BJ over here, William, pretty hardcore Nazi killer kind of guy. He really doesn't like Nazis. I mean, who does? And he's really good about sweeping all of them. However, his two daughters, they're not as experienced as he was. He's a hardcore war veteran. They are not. So, what do they do in that place? They make it kind of an RPG where you level up and stuff, because you have to get to your dad's level. I'm like, no, that's actually kind of cool. I like that concept. So yeah, Wolfenstein Youngblood looks like a lot of fun. Unlocking skills and whatnot. People didn't really seem to like Bethesda's conference too much. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it seemed like they just kind of dropped some stuff I wanted. It just seemed like it was fine to me. Also, Fallout 76 getting the treatment that it deserves with that Wastelanders pack that's coming free, I believe. Wastelanders, I think.
Is that like an update?
Yeah.
Like whole pet?
Yeah, you get like quest lines, you get actual human NPCs, and dialogue branches, and I think even followers. Like it seems like that's what everybody. Also, my brother Markovers was saying, "Yo, I don't know if that's for like 76 or not, but
it probably is."
I would imagine because he likes Fallout 4, so yeah. But 76 it's becoming more like kind of like a single player experience, except you can play with friends, of course. But yeah, it looks pretty promising. There's also the whole Fallout 76 Battle Royale thing, but I don't care. I'm like, I just don't. I have a reason to get 76 now. Yeah, pretty much. I remember seeing somebody complain on Twitter. They were like, human NPCs aren't a feature Bethesda, which I mean they really shouldn't be. But I feel really iffy about that because, and Bethesda even fully admitted on stage that 76 was not what everybody expected it to be, and it did not deliver what it promised. They called themselves out, which honestly I think with Bethesda being as big of an industry titan as they are, I can respect that. With them fully coming out, of course they're not going to come out and just say like, hey, this game sucked, because that's not professional. But the fact that they acknowledged that basically the game sucked at launch and that it was not what everybody expected nor wanted, I can respect that. I can fully appreciate that. And again, they're trying to make it up with this DLC that's coming out. This really it's more like a patch. You don't have to pay anything for it. And I remember again somebody saying that, like, human NPCs aren't, a feature of Bethesda. They made like a little angry emoji. Now look, I mean, it was on Twitter. If you already respond with like GIFs or emojis, I already can't take you serious anyway on Twitter. And I think it already kind of sums up how I feel about that post. But I mean, my whole thing is like, and I really don't want to play like devil's advocate here, but would you rather them just not do it? Like, just not update it and make it what you wanted it to be? I mean, that's kind of my whole thing. I mean, you could get mad at them, but I mean, they could have just like they could have made it abandonware and called it a day. Just ditched it and said like, well, that's a bust. I mean, the fact that it's gonna be such a big overhaul too. So I mean, I understand if you're like, that should have been how it was at launch. I fully agree with that. But at the same time, getting mad at them, it's kind of like the perfect example. Somebody gave one time, it's like, let's say like you're not known for socializing with your family too much, and then one day you decide that you're like, you know what, maybe I should talk to my family some more. So you come downstairs, upstairs, whatever. You go with your family, maybe sit them at the table or something like that. They say, oh, you finally decided to show up, which is completely counterintuitive, because you had something that was wrong with you. You did the right thing, and you still get punched down for it.
Story of my life.
Yeah, like, you see how crappy that is? Story
of my life.
It's real. Yeah, I mean, so you know what I mean. Like, that's just such a crappy mentality to have. Where like they turn up a new leaf, and you're like, well, you should have did that from the beginning. I mean, I don't know, man. This person was a Nintendo fan too, and like, look, man, I don't know. They kind of look like a tool right there. Like, I can't even lie. They look a straight tool.
I thought tools were supposed to fix things, not create problems.
Oh, well, you know what? That is the ethical question, Keon. Also, that was like a really casual, like, yet really hard burn. Like, you're just gonna drop that and walk away, Keon?
That just came off the dome piece.
that was kind of rough.
I'm sorry. When you said he looked like a tool, I just had to.
Yeah. And I mean, like, then again, these are the same people that say that E3 wasn't good until Nintendo showed up. And I mean, both me and you know that's a lie already.
Oh, so, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
The Square happened.
Yeah. And everybody's salty that Bethesda, I guess, didn't show more or something like that. But hey, stay mad. Look, we got Doom Eternal, we got Wolfenstein, we got Deathloop. Be happy or get out. And you're getting a fixed version of 76.
Yeah, 76 is getting the No Man's Sky treatment, so like it.
Right. And then you got Halo Infinite, and what is it? Oh, I killed a mosquito, by the way. I just casually killed it. And you also got nice. Cyberpunk 2077. So honestly, if you want to look like a pretty hardcore tool, just tell me that Nintendo had the only good press conference. You boring, sad individual. You are so basic. Get out of my face.
Nintendo fans be like...
Yeah. But yeah. So, the best burn I've ever heard. No, that was kind of rough. But yeah, so... As for Microsoft, I'm not really an Xbox guy, so I really can't comment too much on that. But, the Master Chief Collection, looking forward to that for PC. Halo Infinite, if I ever get an Xbox One, I'll probably get that, because I am very, very interested in Halo. Just, again, we're a PlayStation family, and never really got around to playing Halo because it's on Xbox. So, it just is what it is. But I did like how it seems like Microsoft has a huge emphasis on trying to, unite PC gaming with console gaming. Especially, the whole Xbox, I forgot what it was called, Live or something like that. But some kind of, ultimate subscription where you can play, Xbox games on PC. Microsoft is hell-bent on uniting, gaming platforms. I am all for that.
So am I.
100%. They got on Nintendo's good side, and they recently got on Sony's good side. And Sony hates everybody, so that's pretty good. And Microsoft, look, man, I don't play your Xbox, I'm sorry, but you're doing God's work. For real, you are. And, that, I have some immense respect for. Also saw the PC Gaming Show, which had a conference. pretty interesting stuff. A lot of like indie games that look pretty interesting. There's Vampire the Masquerade is not an indie game, but it looked pretty interesting. Vampire like the Masquerade Bloodlines 2. It was a little bit of a wordy title. Looked pretty interesting. Of course, there was Borderlands 3, which I am very, very excited for. Although I primarily don't play Borderlands on PC. I actually play it mostly on PS4 because I play with my dad. So everybody's really mad about the whole Epic Games stuff and how Borderlands 3 is going to be on Epic Games Store for like 6 months before the Steam version does. But like, I play on PS4, so like, truthfully, I do not care.
You know, everybody's freaking upset about the Epic Games Store. Heck, Shenmue 3 sold out to the Epic Games Store.
Yeah.
And everybody up in their jammies about it. And I'm just like, what's so bad about the Epic Games Store anyway? Like,
apparently it's supposed it's spyware because it's being supported by a Chinese company that's apparently has a history with that stuff. So people are really concerned about like security issues. And then, you know, there's just still the fact that Epic Games is trying to swipe. They're swiping all these platforms from Steam, but just with money alone. And so, like, you have these games that say, like, hey, we're going to be on Steam. And then Epic Games offers that company money, sells them out to that. So now, basically, they're getting free advertising on Steam. Like, on their platform. So it's really snake stuff that they're pulling off.
Scummy stuff. Okay,
Also, their platform, from what I've heard, is extremely bad. From in fact, I heard with their big mega sale they just had. If you put too many if you order too many games at once, because the Epic Games Store doesn't have a shopping cart system, so it's one at a time. That is awful service.
That is terrible. Even the PlayStation Network has freaking a cart. The PlayStation Network is awful.
Yeah. So yeah, it's not looking. It's not looking too good. But somebody, a couple people reported on the Epic Game Store that like they were trying to like, okay, well, we don't have a shopping cart, so let's just order things really fast. You know, do it as fast as we can. And don't do that because Epic Games will actually like I think ban your account because they think you're like exploiting some kind of like loop, some kind of like logic loop in the system. So like yeah, that's the problem. Like Epic Games is if they're not doing snake stuff, they're just like they're like overdoing it. So like that's really the thing. Like they've I'm not saying they can't get better because that's what like all the Steam fanboys say that you know like they'll never be good. I don't know about that. But once we can get past all the security issues with like this Chinese company, I think it's like Tencent, like TN whatever. But yeah, once we could if we could get past that and we could get past, you know, the lack of this lack of a shopping cart issue and like locking down your account for buying games too fast, which is nonsensical for a platform that does not have a shopping cart system. I think it could turn to something good, but until then, I don't know, man. And again, I'm playing Borderlands 3 on the PS4 anyway, so I truly, truly do not care. Let's see. Various to tell her, I do not care about your opinion. Rob 2019. Rob in a nutshell. That's it. That's definitely it, Chief.
I don't care about your opinion.
That's the one reason I flipping love listening to these podcasts is just hearing Rob indirectly say that as well as directly. Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, it's just me just being blatant. You know, I will be honest. Like part of that is just like my persona, my character. You know, RoberOnocle, because I do that. You know, because you know, gotta spice it up somehow. But part of, I will say like a quarter of that is kind of truth. So yeah.
I mean, you should have been here when I was talking about Banjo.
Yeah, these podcasts get a little goofy sometimes.
Yeah, man, these podcasts are great, especially the multi ones. Like when there's like a bunch of guys here, it's amazing. Yeah,
it gets ridiculous. But yeah, getting back on track. So yeah, Borderlands 3, they had like a bunch of like quests they fired off, but like it was like a bunch of, it was like like a fast firing FAQ, but it was like really crappy. It was just like, hey, can we have co-op? Hey, do we get to play as these 4 characters? Hey, do we get legendaries? Hey, do we get the shift codes? Like, it's all like these obvious questions. Like, you basic people, ask better questions.
Basic people.
That's like going to a Valve AMA and just saying like, "Hey, Half-Life 3, like just you basic human being, like just
You standard person.
right." You stunted Homo sapien. Like, just please.
You average individual.
It's just, please, just. I mean, I'm sorry. I just don't like basic people, man. Like, there's just, ugh. Like I'm talking like the whole like Ocarina of Time is like my first and only Zelda game, is my favorite. I only played Final Fantasy VII. It's my favorite Final Fantasy. You know, just I only played like Doom 1. You know, just all this boring stuff, man. I mean, I'm not saying you can't like meet those prerequisites to some degree. Everybody does to some degree. But like when you just have people like that, where just like everything they say is just something you heard before, I just I get upset sometimes. But getting back on track. So, yeah, PC Gaming Show was pretty neat. Is there anything else I really like from the PC Gaming Show? It was kind of boring in the start. I can't even lie. It was like really, really dry. Yeah, I can't really think of anything other than Borderlands 3, which I am so looking forward to that game. I am so ready for that. So yeah, there was that. Let's see, what thing? And I'm really mad that I missed the Ubisoft one, but again, priorities.
FF4.
Yeah, I mean, of course, there's the whole. Well, technically, I also missed the EA Play for like the first day of E3 2019. But like, why would I want to watch EA?
Who cares about EA, man?
And it wasn't even about like name drops. It was just like them playing games.
And we all know how EA likes to play their games.
Yeah, who cares?
Even EA can screw off.
So yeah, E. I'm thinking about that E meme from earlier with the scout thing. I'm like, oh, I hate that. But yeah, get it back on track. So yeah, Kian, you actually listed a lot. Mark, stop.
Both of them are.
Varen, stop. Cut it out. Stop. Oh, okay. Anyway, I gotta ignore you guys. So yeah, Kian listed a lot of what I like because strangely enough, set aside for fighting games and like first-person shooters, to a degree, we all have like semi-similar taste in first-person shooters. Like, save for those two, we have weirdly similar taste in video games. So, yeah,
Oddly,
yeah. So that's just kind of how it turned out. Like, I didn't really expect that. So yeah, he pretty much everything like anything that Kian was looking forward to, I'm looking forward to, really. So there was that. So yeah, but there was one more thing we haven't mentioned: the Breath of the Wild sequel. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was the very last thing Nintendo mentioned at the end of their conference. So I was reading the article, and apparently Breath of the Wild 2 is going to be based, or not really Breath of the Wild 2, that's not what they're going to call it, we know. But the Breath of the Wild sequel, yeah, that's really what it is for now. But they said that apparently the sequel's even made because they had so many DLC ideas. And I will say, as somebody that's played the DLC of Breath of the Wild, it is overwhelmingly better than the base game. Like, the DLC for Breath of the Wild was fantastic. I know that's weird hearing it come from the guy who knocks that game all the time, but I can say without a doubt, no jokes, that DLC was really good for Breath of the Wild. I thought it was really, really good. And to see that the sequel is basically nothing but more DLC, technically, because it's just based on that. Pretty hardcore, if you ask me. And so, like, I'm really looking forward to, what they have to show for the sequel to Breath of the Wild. Because again, I was a huge fan of it. I'm hoping that they'll do a simple like what some JRPGs do, where they'll detect your last save file and just kind of expand that onto the next game. So you get all of your loot, all of your equipment, all of your progress put into the next game. That would be nice.
So a quick question.
What's up?
When are you gonna update the somebody say Zelda emote to somebody say Final Fantasy?
Keon, please don't start. Please don't start. Please don't start, man. I'm gonna have to lock you up in meme jail if you keep on.
No.
Like, just.
I don't want to go back to meme jail. It smells like old noodles in there, dude. Screw that, please.
Yeah. But yeah, in all seriousness though, like sequel to Breath of the Wild, really looking forward to it, and I'm sure, of course, know my fan base. That begs the question, just like given everything so far, will it be will there be a review for Breath of the Wild 2? No.
Just not at all.
No.
But can I just say that we predicted the future yet again? You can go and look back on the channel like a year or two ago, and you can see our video on Monolith Soft and Capcom being sold to developers. And what would you look at that? Monolith Soft is making Breath of the Wild 2.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, hey, we have it carved in stone.
You have it carved in stone. Try us now. Yeah, this is something that we can actually prove this time.
Yeah. So I mean, take that how you will. But yeah, will I be doing a video on the sequel? No. There is only Final Fantasy now. Get over it.
Yeah, I'm still gonna be waiting for the update to this emote to say somebody say Final Fantasy.
Keon, stop. Stop.
It's gonna happen, and we both know it.
Do not stop. Cut it out.
Alright, I'll stop.
You're going in meme jail, Varen. You're going in. No, you're going.
No, don't put him in meme jail. Yeah. It smells like old noodles. Oh well, rest in peace. Well, anyway.
Yeah, you just been immediately locked in meme jail.
Never not meme jail. Good question.
That is a fair question. Keon, I'm sorry, you want to say something?
Actually, were you going to continue saying something about the Breath of the Wild sequel?
I mean, not really. I mean, we don't really know much about it right now. I mean, again, I'm really looking forward to it. I mean, of course, I don't really know what it's going to be like, and I have more of an idea of meme jail veteran. Goodness. But Psychic 3, as far as Nintendo's press conference goes, that is the thing I care the most about right now, because we were shown the most about it, and I'm just, it's Psychic 3, man.
Yeah, Psychic 3.
It's Psychic 3.
Psychic 3, man. For me, it's Psychic 3 and the Hero. Those are like my two.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to the Hero and Smash Bros. 2.
Yeah, and Builders, my 3. Sorry, I keep adding.
Hey, you have a problem for me. So yeah, for me, definitely it would be, if I had a top 3 to pick, Doom Eternal's gotta go on there, man. I'm sorry, it has to be on there. Doom Eternal, Psychic 3, obviously, and I guess that really only leaves room for like FF7 remake.
Oh yeah, I only did my 3 for Nintendo. My bad. Yeah, FF7 remake and Psychic 3 are tied for first place, and then it goes the Hero, then Dragon Quest Builders. So yeah, mine's not really much different. But yeah, dude, Doom Eternal. Oof. Haven't played many Doom games in a long time, but
honestly, like I would say, like I don't think you should skip the first 2 games, or really the first 3 games actually. I wouldn't say like you should skip the first 3 games, but at the same time, if you started at Doom 2016, I would not fight you. I really won't.
I wasn't planning on skipping the first 2, but hey, Doom 2016 looks like a blast.
Yeah. Ooh, man, I just... I made a joke on Twitter saying that, like, the worst thing about Doom Eternal is that I'm basically forced to get the deluxe edition of it with the extra campaign DLC. I'm like, no, nah, I gotta buy the deluxe edition. I'm sorry.
It's just Prime. Like, the only reason I'll be forced to buy a deluxe edition of a game, aka if I'm ever forced to buy the deluxe edition of Trials of Mana, if they come out with the collector's edition, I won't buy it. If it has a Duran statue, I'm getting 3 of them. so yeah.
$300 down the drain.
Down the drain, hello? The Duran statue? Like that well spent right there.
No, just give me a statue that freaking cannon.
The statue of the cannon that's in the castle that the freaking Bon Jovi put down. The dude's name is Bon Jovi.
What a garbage. What a garbage moment in a good game.
Yeah, what a
Just hey, like talk to the girl and then walk outside and cannon instantly built. How would you think to do this? I don't know.
Exactly. Who knows?
Hit the A button until something happens.
Yeah, just go around the place. Like that was garbage. Just as garbage as the whole puzzle. I think the whole puzzle's still gonna be in the remake, and that bothered.
The whole puzzle sucks. I hope they take that out in the remake.
It's probably still gonna be there, but at least we got a mini. At least we got a mini map.
Right. Yeah. So those like little spring thingies, like you don't really need them anymore because you have a mini map now.
Yeah, but I mean, it would be cool if they still like showed you where you were on the world map, though.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So yeah, that's pretty much it for me. Doom Eternal, Psychen 3 remake, FF7 remake. Am I doing a review on Breath of the Wild 2? No.
Not at all. Oh yeah, I was gonna say something, just a tiny bit about Breath of the Wild 2.
Okay.
Am I stoked for it? Somewhat. I mean, I'm liking the original Breath of the Wild. I think it's a decent game. But so far, the only thing I'm super stoked about when it comes to Breath of the Wild 2, well, I'm not really like stoked about it, but like the one thing that I'm really like liking so far is the fact that there's like all this fan art of this hydrated Ganondorf. He's just like this muscular, shirtless, buff dude, and he's like super chill and super kind. And I'm loving it because I'm like, oh my lord, I didn't think I would ever enjoy seeing Ganondorf being such a bro dude. It's hilarious and I love it. Like that's the one thing that I'm digging from Breath of the Wild 2. The hydrated Ganon thing. It is amazing.
It's always weird seeing like a calmer version of a villain. Kind of like Dio in Steel Ball Run.
Yeah, and then Dio in Part 6 when he's just casually talking to Goofy. We all know Dio being a freaking jerk, but yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, and of course, like I mentioned, Garland and Mobius Final Fantasy.
Yeah, Garland and Mobius.
He's just casually talking to the Warrior of Light like it's nothing.
He's casually talking to Wall. Just, hey, what's up, dude? Heck. Yeah. I think that's just about all we gotta say today. Right?
No, that's pretty much it. No, we pretty much covered everything. Everything that was worth covering anyway.
Yeah. But before we leave off today, I want to ask a question. If there were another next year's E3, this is just a what if scenario. What company would you like to come out, and what 2 or 3 games would you like them to announce?
Ooh, a wish list. Okay. So for one, a big one for me, Serious Sam 4. I really want a Serious Sam 4 right now. I love Serious Sam so much. So that's from Crow Team, or technically from Devolver Digital. If it would totally come from them. So Devolver just one team. Okay, no, one team. All right.
One company, pretty much.
One company. Okay. So I'm in a dang, because now I'm pretty much split between like Bethesda and Square Enix. Nintendo they'll do some Smash Bros, or some Mario or Zelda or something like that. I've just come to expect that from them. But like Square Enix and Bethesda are harder to predict. So if I had to say something I would be really looking forward to I'll go with Square Enix because I'm doing Final Fantasy right now.
Right.
I'll do Square Enix. So obviously, the obvious, Final Fantasy 16. Everybody's been waiting on it, and me currently indulging myself in Final Fantasy. Would really like to see a Final Fantasy 16. What else from them? What else from Square Enix? Let's see. I would definitely say, I guess if we could get I was gonna say maybe another remake for Psychen 1, but they already got one, sort of on the GBA, and that one looks pretty competent. So it
doesn't look like the original.
Yeah, I don't know. It ain't like, FF4 where they remade it twice.
FF4 double remake. Let's go. And it got us 2 sequels.
Yeah. Which were both remade. So, well, actually, no. Interlude wasn't remade. I lied a little bit. But After Years was remade. But yeah, it's whatever. Yeah, so definitely FF16. I would definitely like to see that. Hopefully, it won't be an MMO. They're too focused on 14 right now. So there's most definitely that. I would hope maybe they would do Kingdom Hearts for the PC. Like the full collection they can. Because right now they've got like what? Like Kingdom Hearts, like the full bundle, like the entire collection, something like that on the PS4. Where basically you could get literally everything Kingdom Hearts, like in one purchase, $100, which that ain't bad.
Ooh.
So maybe like a full on Kingdom Hearts collection for PC. I would like to see that.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. So there would be that, and probably for a final pick, probably not gonna have the Kingdom Hearts is kind of console exclusive, but then again, anything can happen after Kingdom Hearts 3 on Xbox. Yeah, and that and Square's been getting a lot more friendly with PC like the past few years. So it's more possible than it would be. Now, Final Fantasy VII Remake, I wouldn't expect that for a few years for PC. I'm just going to get that on PS4, because that's not going to be worth the wait. Because that's gonna be like, I can see that being like 2, 3, even 4 years maybe afterwards. Since it's being primarily developed on the PS4. I'm not going to count on a PC version anytime soon. If one comes out between now and then, I mean, hey, nice, but I'm not expecting it. Yeah, Kingdom Hearts, I don't know.
Alright, so those are your two.
The two, right? But if I had one more that I wanted from Square Enix, if I had one more to pick.
I'll do this. 2 have to be from one company and 1 can be from another company.
Alright.
So basically you get 3 dream games.
Okay. Alright, so I got my 2 Square games right there. If we were to go for 3 from another company, I would love to see some kind of sequel or a follow-up to Prey 2017. Either a sequel or something, either a sequel to that game or a follow-up to that game or a successor to it. Even if it's like loosely based on Prey 2017, I would love some kind of successor to it. That is a truly fantastic game that focuses so much. I think that game does exploration really, really, really good. And it has really good shooting. Very satisfying shooting at that. Really satisfying progression throughout the world and unlocking it and coming to understand it more and, interacting with it. Using your keen eye for observation. And that was just I just look at it this way. Breath of the Wild has fantastic world design. But to me, that is pretty much all it has. Prey 2017 has fantastic world design. And interacting with that world is incredibly fun, and it isn't inconsequential. It all matters. And that's what made it so good to me. And on top of that, it was a slow first-person shooter. And like I said, usually I'm more of a fast FPS kind of guy. But Prey 2017 was pretty much the exact opposite, and I still love that game to death. I would love any kind of drop of Prey 2017. I would like. Then again, that being said, Arcane Studio worked on Prey 2017. They're also working on Deathloop. Deathloop is supposed to be designed around observing the world and making decisions around it, because it plays with the idea that you die and reincarnate and you go back to the beginning of that time loop, as it's called, Deathloop. We're playing as 2 mercenaries two mercs trying to kill each other, and each time one successfully kills the other one, time resets. That is cool to me, and I'm really interested to see what they try to pull up with that. So Deathloop, maybe that's the successor I'm talking about. It may be. But don't really know about that yet.
Alright.
So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So yeah, FF16, Kingdom Hearts series for the PC if possible, and a successor to Prey. I already got Doom, so whatever.
You already got Doom, so you're all
Yeah.
good.
So Keon, what say you?
Well, I would probably say that for my first one, I would probably say I would want. Hmm, I will probably want Capcom to be like my primary one.
Mm-hmm.
I want Capcom to make Darkstalkers 4 because that's either Darkstalkers 4 or Cyberbots 2.
Okay.
Just bring back one of their old, super old arcade fighting game series because I've been playing a lot of arcade fighting games on Fightcade.com. Not Fightcade.com. On Fightcade, which is this application that allows you to play old school arcade fighting games against other people, like JoJo, uh, like Street Fighter 2, etc., etc. And the two that I've been enjoying the most, other than the original Marvel vs. Capcom, is Cyberbots Full Metal Madness and Darkstalkers 3, also known as Vampire Savior. I would love to see either of those games get a comeback. Like, I would love to see Darkstalkers 4 or Cyberbots 2, just because both of them were. Well, Darkstalkers was a very just hectic, fast paced, in your face fighting game. And uh, Cyberbots was. It was, I won't say it was more of the same, but it was a very ground based fighting game where you could choose between different types of robots. Like you can choose a standard like robot that fights with its fists. You can choose a robot that uses like weapons or something. You could choose a robot that had like tank wheels that could like do command grabs and stuff and like roll all over the opponent. There were also hidden robots like there was a robot called Geitz, which was like a standard like humanoid. It could teleport. It could shoot lightning balls that stun your opponent into the like in place. There was one called the Super 8, which is like an octopus robot. It had multiple arms. It could grab you. It could keep you at long range. It had a very cool playstyle, and every robot has like their own weapon button, and all of them do different things. Like for example, one of the hidden robots called Geitz. If you pressed weapon with him, he shot I think 8 missiles, two towards the enemy and two angled upwards for like an anti-air. But if you were to pick something like swordsman, if you press the weapon button with him, he will fire like a straight beam or something like that. It would it would just be like a complete overhaul of variety within a fighting game. It would be just something so fresh to see nowadays as opposed to just just standard humanoid fighting. Just I want to see something super new, and especially seeing what Capcom could do with the art style for a game like that. Considering the fact that Street Fighter V didn't really look the prettiest, and neither did Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. So I don't know about trusting Capcom's fighting game division right now, but I mean, I would definitely lay a Darkstalkers 4 or a Cyberbots 2 in their hand. And if they ever do make a Cyberbots 2, please bring back the Akuma robot from Cyberbots 1. Seeing Akuma as a freaking robot was amazing. Doing freaking jumping fireballs and Tatsumaki Seppuku. It was amazing. For my second wish, I want to see them announce that they are putting Phoenix Wright in Super Smash Bros. All right, no. As much as I want to see that, that's more of a Nintendo thing. I would love to see the localization of either the localization of the Great Ace Attorney games or Daigyakken Saiban. I love to see them remake those, or they could make another Layton versus Wright or Layton versus Ace Attorney. But instead of it being Professor Layton and Phoenix Wright again, it could either be Alfendi Layton and Apollo Justice. Alfendi Layton is Professor Layton's son from a spin-off game called Layton Brothers Mystery Room. They could put him and his assistant Lucy Baker for the Layton side, and they could have Apollo Justice and Trucy Wright for the Ace Attorney side. They could do those characters, or they could use the newest Layton girl. Her name is she's from the newest game. I forgot her name. Catriel. They can use Catriel Layton. She could have Noah Montel or Ernest Greaves. This is his English name. And that dog that they're always hanging out with, Sherlock or Sherlock OC Sherlock OC Holmes, is his name. It's like Sherlock Holmes. They could put him in there, and for the Ace Attorney side, they could have Athena Sykes and just something like that. I just want to see them do something with like the spin-off titles, because I mean I haven't played Ace Attorney 6 yet, but man, if they were to ever localize Great Ace Attorney 1 and 2 or make another Layton versus Wright, then I would be psyched, because Layton versus Wright and Great Ace Attorney 1 and 2 are my favorite Ace Attorney games. They're both like in my top 5 actual like favorite games, I'll say.
I heard that Layton versus Wright was a really, really good game.
It was to me. Surprisingly, a lot of people didn't like it. Like, it was very mixed. It got okay reviews.
Okay, I remember my brother talking about it. I think he had pretty like positive things to say about it too.
Oh well, I mean, it's definitely a solid game. I will say that. It's a really solid game. It's actually what got me into Professor Layton. Like, I didn't know who Professor Layton was before I like started actually like watching the game and like watching through it. So I did some like ulterior research and actually played through all the Layton games. I was like, oh my god, this is so good. And then now, like, when I was actually like watching through Layton versus Wright and getting all the references, I was like, yo, this game is OD. This game is amazing. And of course, the story wasn't that great, but the interactions between all the characters and all the core scenes, it was, of course, normal on Ace Attorney goodness. It was great. There were some plot holes here and there, though. Because... Am I allowed to say spoilers?
I don't know. Are any of you, is anybody here deathly afraid of Layton versus Wright spoilers?
I mean, that game came out in 2014, and that game is 4 years old. All right.
Yeah, it
technically came out in like 2012. That game is ancient history.
Somehow I feel like Stuffy doesn't care.
Yeah, but it turns out in Layton versus Wright, since Layton and Wright are all thrown into like this magical dimension, sort of, kinda. And at the end of the game, they go like, "Hey, all this magic stuff is fake, haha." That doesn't explain. That, actually. Yeah, thing is, that doesn't explain by at the very beginning of the game, there were these statues that were moving, like actual living statues in the real world, coming out, and they slammed their hands on some dude's car, and actually murdered him. The guy's name was Carmine Accidenti, by the way. The worst name pun. Guy named Carmine Accidenti who died in a car accident. Like, get out of here. But yeah, like that. There were plot holes here and there. But I mean, if they were to ever make a sequel, of course, like Shu Takumi could be a lot more on his good side, because Shu Takumi, he wrote that game. He's the original writer for the first 3 Ace Attorney games. I don't know what he was like doing for the whole plot of Layton versus Wright with the whole like fake city thing. I guess it was because it was sort of new to him. They wanted to get like a very Layton-esque setting. Not Layton-esque. That's something that Emil Tava says. And I guess it's since Shu Takumi was more so like into the real world like stuff. Like the most things that Shu Takumi does when it comes to sort of paranormal things is spirits, because Mayafe, she's a spirit medium. She channels spirits. And he also did another game called Ghost Trick Phantom Detective, which is all about a spirit going to like this ghost world, which essentially like freezes time. He's able to move around and like manipulate things and become like he helps people out and stuff. Yeah, Ghost Trick was awesome. It is a very fantastic game. So yeah, like I think the whole thing with Layton versus Wright was just new to him, and he just forgot to close out on some things. That's just how I think of it. But yeah, if you were to ever do a second Layton versus Wright, I would buy it, like in a heartbeat, because I like the first one so much. But yeah, those are my 2 Capcom games. Anyway, well, my 2 sort of 4 Capcom games. I don't know, just whatever. And my last one would probably be from Square Enix, and I would say that straight up, they should either remaster Enchanted Arms or remake Enchanted Arms. Just bring it back and make it better. Because Enchanted Arms is a very old sort of strategy RPG that they had from way back when that nobody talks about anymore. Like, nobody at all. They could either do that or they could do just some game that I would just like to call Square Enix, where they just take Final Fantasy, Dragon Quest, Terranigma, and Secret of Mana, just throw all of those elements into one world and just do something.
That would be hardcore. That would be some really hardcore stuff.
Dude, that would be amazing, though.
It would be. Isn't Terranigma part of the Gaia series?
Is it?
Like the Illusion of Gaia series, isn't it a part of that?
I don't know. I don't even know about the Illusion of Gaia series. Illusion of...
Because I think it was... I know like Illusion of Gaia had 2 successors, and I think... I don't know if they were necessarily like sequels, but like I know they were like kind of like based around each other. Kind of like how Final Fantasy is a series, even though it kind of ain't technically, but it is.
It is often considered a part of an unofficial trilogy with Quintet's Soul Blazer, and Terranigma. It's
Soul
like
Blazer and Terranigma.
Yeah, it's like an unofficial trilogy. It's like sort of kind of maybe associated.
So Illusion of Gaia, Soul Blazer, and Terranigma.
Terranigma. It's like an unofficial thing.
Right.
Like they all seem to be very similar. Yeah, they all look similar. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
But yeah, like I want to see like Terranigma, Dragon Quest, Final Fantasy, Secret of Mana, freaking what's that one game? That one game.
Chrono series?
Yeah, the Chrono series. And like
maybe even Xenogears?
Maybe Xenogears. Did Square make Xenogears? Or was that on Monolith Soft?
I think that's a Square game. Monolith Soft was like on like Xenosaga.
Oh wait, I'm thinking about Xenosaga. My bad.
Xenosaga, yeah.
Yeah, but no, it wasn't the Xeno series. But they could pop in right there with us, Chrono series. It was Lufia. Lufia's made by one of those guys, right? Is it
Square?
No, I don't think.
Lufia was made by Natsume all the way up until the very last Lufia game, which was made by Square.
Okay, yeah. Okay, my bad. I just thought it was yeah, it's now parent. It's like Square Enix's parent company now.
Yeah, but they do own Lufia now. Yeah, that's their thing.
Yeah, so screw it. Throw Lufia in there too. Like just make it a big amalgamation of JRPG goodness, and just like something like Fortune Street, except actually decent. Because I mean, Fortune Street was like the only game I got to see Cloud Strife and like some Dragon Quest slime on a board game. But, like, no, I want to see just Square Enix just mesh together all of their BS IPs and just make something happen with it. Like Kingdom Hearts, something like Kingdom Hearts, but just purely Square Enix. That would be amazing in my opinion, and that's what I want to see from Square Enix.
Seems like they would make either a really good understanding saying they was gonna accommodate for like the action games too. Either an action RPG. Action RPG would probably be the safest bet. Doing an action RPG, yeah. Although I could say like an ATB game could also work, but I think action would be the best course to take. Especially since Final Fantasy has now moved into that realm now. Like it's just an action RPG series now, so like yeah, I think that sounds like that'd be pretty fun. That sounds like that would be pretty fun.
Dude, what if they made it like a team-based fighter like Dissidia? That would be cool.
But with actual RPG elements, check that out.
Yeah, bring back the RPG elements, make it like a team-based fighter like Dissidia or something like that. Just make it something crazy good and crazy fun. That would be like my dream game.
Basically, the story in that game will be like non-existent because that's just too much crossover in one. But I don't care, man. It just sounds like it's fun. Like,
right, man. I want to see Erdrick and Cloud Strife just like beat the crap out of somebody while Duran's just helping. And Snoop's just kicking treasure chests, and Ark from Terranigma's just getting his face burnt off and stuff. Like, I just want to see a bunch of dumb crap like that just go on down. Yeah. Either remaster Enchanted Arms or do a whole just big old Square Enix thing.
I think they should just call it, like, instead of Square Enix, check this title out: Square Remix. Come on now.
Square Remix.
Square Remix.
Heck yeah. Square Remix featuring Enix. All right now. Square Remix. That would be amazing. But yeah, that's like my completely never gonna happen E3 2020.
Don't it be like that sometimes?
They're never gonna do anything of that scale.
Yeah.
Like a freaking remake of Crisis Core is more likely.
Yeah, because I don't know. Square's kind of weird.
They
Square's
really
just
are.
kind of weird.
They are, but I mean, they're reliable sometimes, except when it comes to their PC ports.
Yeah, but only some of them. Only when they care, basically.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, that's
Dissidia.
Dissidia.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I think I would like to change my last answer, actually, because again with Deathloop, I think, just considering that, I think it's a little redundant to ask for that Arcane Studios thing. I think I might change that answer.
All right.
So Nintendo, where is Tomodachi 3 at?
Oh my lord, Tomodachi 3.
Where is Tomodachi 3 at? Because, like, oh shoot! Mark, when did you get here? Seriously.
Yeah, Mark just showed up. He's back now. He's like, yo! Tomodachi 3 would be hype.
But please, I know we didn't get the first game, which is garbage, but still, Tomodachi 3. I would get loud for that. Like, seriously.
Oh.
I would be, man, I would not be like, I couldn't be happy if I could see a Tomodachi 3 announcement. I mean, they'd probably like call it like Tomodachi 2 or something like that over here. But still, Tomodachi 3, please, please. You guys teased a Tomodachi sequel, or teased talking about it, all the way back in 2014, about making one. Please, I want a Tomodachi 3 so bad. Tomodachi Life was the junk, man. It really was.
And I never got it, unfortunately. I'm still thinking about getting it.
I strongly recommend that game. I mean, of course, Tomodachi Life variant. Oh yeah, because you weren't around. We started talking about that. Tomodachi Life is a life simulator for your Miis. It was on the 3DS. Really, really good game. You know, it's a life sim, so of course, like every life sim, it'll start to wear out a little bit. But you know, that's fine. You know, that's really like any game. You know, but like Tomodachi Life is meant to be played for a long time. Couldn't you make your Miis sing stuff about really strange things? If you wanted to, yes, you could. Like really weird stuff.
I just want to see people's villages or like islands just do really, really strange stuff.
That's kind of already what like Tomodachi Life does. So yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there, by the way, but like
I was done talking anyway.
Oh. But yeah, man, Tomodachi 3 is something I want. Like, you guys don't even know how badly I want that. Because Tomodachi Life, and like, trust me, Kian, if you play it, man, your first time experience is going to be phenomenal. Like, you're going to have a good time playing that. There are so many things that can happen in that game, and it's so interesting to see it play out. The only problem with Tomodachi Life as a game is that you can clearly tell it is a budget game. A budget Nintendo game. It has a lot of content in it, but you can tell it's a little budget sometimes. But, you know, seeing, what is it? Miitomo, is it? You know, seeing the prototype, like, what was basically like a demo for another Tomodachi game.
That died in like a week.
Yeah, because people didn't really acknowledge all that much, which is very, very unfortunate. But seeing as, you know, like, they've mastered automated voices now. For Nintendo, like Nintendo, I can't even lie, they kind of killed it. It sounds really, really good now. The automated voices. So like, seeing another Tomodachi game with that same level of like automation in it in those voices, and seeing all the like even more scenarios that can play out, and having your characters interact with. Yeah, too bad they shut Miitomo down. Yeah, it didn't last all that long.
Shut down like a year later.
Yeah.
This reminds me of Soul Calibur Lost Swords.
I feel bad for whoever spent money on it. Yeah. Oh, that is so sad. But yeah, seeing like I would love to see Mii's like interact with like 'cause one thing I didn't really like too much about Tomodachi Life is how the Mii's didn't really interact with their apartments too much. You would get like like a cotton candy or like some like mega girly like apartment for somebody, and like you wouldn't see them like dress up like like look into a drawer or put on makeup, like look in a mirror or something like that. They wouldn't really do anything like that. They just kind of accept it. But like seeing them like if they could interact with their apartments, if you could have more social scenarios play out, way more social scenarios would be fantastic. So having a character say, I want to buy something for a friend, or me and this friend want to go hang out, what do you think we should do? And then maybe even like partaking of that and seeing how you can make the situation, make the event. I would like to see more events that you would have more input in, because that would make it way more engaging. Like if someone wants to go for a walk, maybe help them pick out an outfit for it, or if they want to go for a walk and then maybe go for a picnic later on or something like that. Just like all these events, all this interaction potential that you would have. Bro, you get me hyped for something that doesn't exist. I'm sorry, Mark. I'm so sorry. I'm really sorry, man, but like there is just looking at Tomodachi Life, there is so much potential. And I know at that point it'd be a little similar to making like The Sims, but it's Nintendo's spin on The Sims. That's really what the base Tomodachi Life was like Nintendo's spin on it. And I think they could turn it into something truly engaging. Oh, also, me and Mark talked about this before. I know this would be kind of hardcore for a Nintendo game, but we would like the option for your Miis to get old and die in a Tomodachi game. Like they actually get old and they pass away. Because like my brother Mark over here, he has like 11 kids. He has like 11 kids. And he has like, don't you have like 11 kids and like 7 grandkids? Mark, don't you have like, I know you have like a boatload of children in Tomodachi Life.
Busy, what the heck?
Yeah, they all look just like him too. It's creepy. I have to count again. Yeah, see, that's the problem. This guy has Mark has an insane amount of kids, and he has a bunch of grandkids too. And at this point, he's kind of working on having like great grandkids. Basically, Mark should be dead. So like, yeah, but like seeing your Mii get old and actually like see them like like I don't know, like really like if you're gonna have them get old and die, make it count. Like have them get old, see if they're getting older, see if they're getting slower. And that they're doing everything slower, and then coming to grips with the fact that eventually they're gonna like die. That'd be some interesting stuff to see. Especially if you see yourself die for the first time. Like honestly, I think that would be wild.
Sorry about that. Discord just decided to die for a second. I don't know why.
Oh, where did you last hear me?
It was just Mark saying that like he was talking about how many kids he had.
Oh yeah, I was just saying. I'm sorry.
So I'll just like listen back to it in the video.
Okay, but yeah, I was just saying, like your Miis, like if they got older and like they actually came to grips with the fact that they're getting older and eventually they're gonna have to pass away. So you start seeing them get slower, maybe reminiscing more on the past and past events that have happened throughout the game, and eventually getting to a point like I said, like it would be kind of wild if you saw yourself die for the first time, or like just seeing your character finally pass away and you're just taking care of your grandchildren now. Like imagine how wild that would be. But like even though it'd be kind of like bogus, like seeing yourself get old and die, it's like it's nice knowing that like your legacy lives on. And again, I think I'm still getting Mark. Am I still getting you hyped for a game that doesn't exist? Because like I'm so sorry right now, man. Yeah, man, I'm so sorry, but like it's just there is so much potential that they could have, and like at this point, I'm hoping that if we don't get a Tomodachi 3, I mean, I'm really hoping we get one. I'm hoping we get a Tomodachi 3 either sometime next year or year after. I don't care, man. I just want some more reassurance on this Tomodachi sequel that Nintendo talked about 5 years ago. I would just like to hear more about that. And if not that, I hope some indie guy comes around, understands the potential of Tomodachi Life, and makes us some kind of like, spiritual successor to it. Some kind of indie successor to it. At this point, I'll take anything, man. So, yeah. My final wish for E3 of 2020. Ain't gonna happen, but it'd be nice. So yeah, guys, those are our thoughts on E3 2019. I'm Rob, and this is my good buddy Keon. We see you guys next time.
Peace.